Welcome to Hot Tech Tips on YouTube. You can find us at hottechtip.com and hottechtips.com. Both will lead you to this YouTube page. So tonight we're going to talk about 6 Excel functions that are basic, that you have to know if you're going to be successful with Excel. And you'll probably use these 70-80% of the time when you're working with Excel. The first is sum. And sum takes the sum total of a certain number of cells. So for instance, in this case, if I want to sum these, I can hit enter to let Excel know I'm about to enter a formula. Type sum, open parentheses, and then if I just drag this down to the ones I want to sum, close the parentheses and hit enter, then that will be the sum of those. Now if I click back on the cell where the formula is and click up here, it'll highlight the range. So I can adjust this, say I only wanted to know this A1 through A5, hit enter, and it'll make that change. Okay, so this is sum. Now that's a great one, and you're going to use that quite often. Another one is count. What count will do is it'll count all the cells in a range that have a number in them. So here's our formula, and let's just take this out and redo it. So we'll say equal count, open parentheses, and then the range that we want to count to see how many numbers are in that range. Close parentheses, 10. And you can see here on this other example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spelled out, 10 spelled out. So these, being alphanumeric, will not count in the count. And so the answer here comes back as 8. If I change this to the number 5, it says that there's 9 numbers in this field. You can see how this is working. But if you want to just count every cell in the range, regardless of whether it's a number or alpha, as long as it isn't blank, then you can use the next function, which is count A. Count A simply counts every cell in the range, whether it's an alpha or whether it's numeric. Another really helpful function is called the length. So here is some a string or some characters in A1, grumpy cats are fun, and then we want to know what is the length of this, which is every letter plus every space. So if we take this out and do it ourselves, equal len, open parentheses, choose the cell we want to get the length of what's inside the cell, and it comes back 19. So we can verify that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. So that's really nice. And these can feed into other formulas as well, which we can look at later on in some other further videos. Okay, here's a very important one, the simple if statement. So here I have a little spreadsheet of Harry, Sally, Tom, Joan, and Robert, and this was their earnings for the week. And if you made over 1,000, then you got a $200 bonus. And so this is the total. Now here's what I did. I have, this is what they earn, and these are simply the numbers, 1,200, 1,200, 800, 900, 1,000, and 1,400. So here is our if statement. If statements are made up of 3 parts. Let me take this out and we'll reconstruct it. So we'll say if, open parentheses, and you see it's telling us the 3 items we need. If, and you put in a logical test, If this value in the logical test is true, then it will return this next part. If it's false, then it will return the next part. So we're going to say if cell B1, cell B2 is greater than 1,000, comma, and you see now it's highlighted this area, value if true. So if it's true, then 200, they'll get a $200 bonus, comma, and if the value is false, they get bumpkus. Enter. So that's our formula here. Of course, now to if we wanted to copy this, let's take these values out. Copy this down. We simply grab this fill handle, drag it down, and it copies relative B3, B4, B5, and B6. Relative cell addresses. So then I went over here and did our sum from the first tab. Sum these two cells and give me the result. So this would be how much their total would be. Now you see this one was 1,000. They don't get a bonus because our formula says it has to be greater than 1,000. So if 1,000 was our where you get the bonus, we could change this to 999, and now that person would get a bonus because they were over 999. And finally, one of the items you're going to come across a lot is like this. You get names sometimes downloaded where you have the first name in one column and you have the last name in another column, and then you want to put those two together. So what you do is you use the concatenate. Concatenate will take the first cell, let me click here, the first cell, and then of course we have to put a space. So this is a quotation, space, quotation, comma, and then the next cell, which is highlighted in green here, and it concatenates those together, and it lets you put first and last name together in one cell, which is very helpful sometimes. So here's one I have. See, here we just have one cell, space, and one cell, but you can use multiple cells. So I have A1, A2, A3, and A4 with a space in between each one, and when you concatenate that together, you get grumpy cats are fun. So that's it. Those are 6 of the most useful Excel formulas that you're going to use virtually every day when you're working with Excel. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching Hot Tech Tips. See you later.